And welcome back to Let's Play Animal Crossing for the GameCube. No fossils. That's unusual. I must have collected them off screen, but that's beside the point. Last time we went over some like stuff like Sahara, and I'm trying to even remember because that was a whole day ago. That's how bad my memory is. You also helped out some villagers. He didn't do a whole lot. Is this new? No, that's Boris. I'm just not used to seeing his house there. So I guess one thing I kind of want to talk about is the characters in more detail. Basically, these special characters have a lot more dialogue in Wild World, and that's why I like that game, because it really fleshes out the characters. A recurring event in Wild World is what's called an episode. Also, the trees are going to be slightly bigger because of a time travel thing. I made a mistake, basically. So the trees are actually going to be bigger than they should be. Episodes are basically optional conversations in which you can learn more about specific characters. These characters are Tom Nook, Mabel, and Sable. No, I don't think Sable. I don't think Mabel has any, but you know, she's involved, so you do learn more about Mabel too, to some extent. That tree can't go any bigger because I think the house is in the way, actually. Blathers, of all people, and Pelly. We've already kind of gone over Pelly's optional conversations because we did talk a little bit about the love triangle, so we went over those a little bit, but we really didn't touch upon what the others are. So today I was thinking about maybe going over some of the details about Blathers' conversations. Blathers talks about a character who's not in this game a lot, a character named Brewster, who actually runs a shop, like a coffee shop. Blathers also talks quite a bit about his own fear of bugs. And how, yeah, he's just super grossed out by insects, and it's like no one else is. So, like his sister, who's introduced in Wild World, is apparently completely not fazed at all by bugs. So he's sort of envious of anyone who can stand bugs, basically. The Tom Nooks and Sables are a lot more in depth, so I'd have to actually look over them again. Because it's been years since I played Wild World, so I'd have to actually go and look them up before. Blathers are pretty straightforward. It's just, you know, talking about his fears, and I think he talks about a little bit about where they come from, but I don't quite recall all the details. I forgot to look it up off screen in enough detail. Yeah, that's kind of a nice little character building thing. I don't think Phyllis actually has any alternate conversations, only Pelly. Because Pelly's the one that's trouble, because Pete likes Phyllis, of all people. Also, all the pelicans' names start with P, by the way. Because P for pelican. Just a little fun fact. Blathers' sister's name's Celeste, and actually runs the observatory, starting with Animal Crossing Wild World. New Leaf, she does not run an observatory, but she instead runs a gift shop. And also a display area where you can display your own stuff, so you can create your own museum exhibits and so on. I mean, we already knew Blathers hate bugs, but in Wild World, it's actually kind of nice getting a little more context for that. It does bother him, apparently, that he's like the only one who has this issue. To be fair, I can sympathize. Also, the only fossil we're missing is the Stegotail, and there's actually a reason for that. The Stegotail has no code. All the other fossils, as far as I can tell, have codes available for them. Apparently, no one has ever found the code for this one. Which is actually saying a lot, because, well, we have so many codes for items now, and yet for some reason, that just doesn't have one. As far as I can tell, it doesn't even have a code. Yo, Twittermore, what's up? Today's Farhaven Day, so the one day of the year set aside to celebrate the joys of life for Farhaven. I forgot it was this day. I really have to work the crowd to convince everyone that this is the place to live around here. I'll go waste some of the extra swag that's just laying around. I thought you said, haha, not here. Never mind. Station Model 10. I'll give one of these to everybody. Then nobody will complain about life here. Which is actually an important item that I meant to get to. So that just saved me the trouble of having to broach the subject. So we went over Blathers' episode a little bit and Pelly's episode, which again we already covered. Yeah, from what I gather, basically, like with the character Brewster who runs the coffee shop in Wild World onwards, that basically, you know, Blathers kind of helped him get a start, kind of, if I recall correctly. So that's nice. In any case, yeah, I wish I remembered them in greater detail. But this actually is a station model of the actual train station. Huzzah, huzzah, huzzah. It's 10 because I think the roof can be different. So one popular thing you can actually do in this game is get models of various different items, like houses and other things. Why would you do that, pray tell? Well, you can actually get models of like stores even. I think you get a museum model for completing the museum. You get a ton of stuff. So you can basically have your own miniature town if you collect enough. Like a diorama town. So that's cool. I've never done that because these items are always like rare items. Like you have to work for them basically. And I'm never that motivated. But I mean, I would love to see it. Maybe I should just Google. I mean, someone's probably done it by now. I think the house models are from the HRA, if I'm not mistaken. It's rather difficult to get points in this game though, because you only have 2 rooms to work with, as opposed to, okay, math time, as opposed to like 5 in Wild World, and I think a similar number in Seafolk and New Leaf. Seafolk might actually have fewer because in that game you have separate houses, which is something I actually haven't gone over. One major difference in Wild World is houses are actually shared. There's no 4-house system. All of the houses are actually shared, so that means basically it's like if you wanted to have multiple people use the same file, you'd actually have to like physically share a house. That's why the house has so many more rooms in that version. Basically a room for everybody plus. But someone's gonna end up with an uneven amount of rooms. I guess you could make one like a living room. It'd actually be cool to set up a house like that, like a community. Like, oh, this room is a kitchen. All the other, the main room is like the living room, and all the other rooms are just, you know, like bedrooms, basically. Something like that, I think would actually be really cool. I never really did that, because I kept my file to myself, basically. Not Wild World. Seafolk brought back the traditional system of 4 houses, but unlike Wild World, wait, Seafolk brought back houses, individual houses, but unlike the original, you actually all spread out. All the houses are spread out from one another, so instead of, it's actually a bigger deal picking a house in that game because you actually have to pick a house from a variety of locations. I usually had a house near the stores just because in Seafolk in particular I did a lot more shopping than usual, just because frankly Seafolk didn't have a ton of, like, the item selection was a little bit weird in that game, so it was nice being located it's weird because you have to be like commuting constantly, so being in the upper part of town is actually kind of nice, so you'd be closer to the city. I don't really have anything else to talk about. I basically talked about Blathers conversations a little bit. Maybe I'll go into more details if I can find them online, like a transcript or something. Maybe I'll go into it a little bit more. Or maybe next time we can go over some of the other conversations. But in any case, that's all for now. So, Oh yeah, the raffle's coming up. That's something exciting to look forward to. And the clock doesn't actually come up in this level. Okay, that's weird. Okay, let's go outside and see the clock. So yeah, 40 days till the raffle. So demonstrate that. And then that's a lot of what I want to show in this game. Mostly it's holidays, but summer is actually the most spread out time for holidays, sadly. Who knows, I'll come up with something to talk about, of course. But in any case, thank you for watching, and hope you join me next time for more Animal Crossing!